Piggly Wiggly incident, in review. Y'all saw I waited a very long time. They said they were paging this guy. Never heard a page on the intercom, right? And the white lady was the one that said she was told the black girl to page him. And what I noticed is I waited a very long time. And actually, when I moved so that I could be back so I could see everything, also I wanted to move out of eyesight so that they wouldn't be dodging me or anything like that. But there's cameras there too. So I'm standing and I'm waiting. And then eventually, probably like 10 minutes later, the guy pops up, right? And the things that you couldn't see on camera was this: when he told me to just take him to where, but I think he has social anxiety. He was real jittery. Take him to where the product was, and I really didn't know where it is because I go down each and every aisle. So he took me right to it, and I told him what the product was at first, and eventually he took me right to it. And then we saw the pricing. And then, I'm trying to make it clear to him that, hey, you can just give me whatever the cost is in another product. I really don't want all that back and forth on my card. And so he handles, he says, well, basically, he's just telling me, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you your money back and then you get whatever it is you want. And that wasn't the situation. He wasn't listening because social anxiety, emotional intelligence, right? And so, it wasn't that I got the wrong product. I got the right product. I just got overcharged for the right product. So eventually he just gave me whatever he picked up and just gave that to me, which was fine, which they could have done last night, which was a question that I wanted to ask afterwards. But looking at his social anxiety, as I was saying, social anxiety looks different on different people. Those people last night that was clowning and joking and being rude, that's how they deal with it. He deals with it by he's not listening. He's just trying to hurry up and get the situation out the way without listening to it. And when you're not emotionally intelligent, like I said, you can cause more of a problem because you put yourself in a situation where you can be manipulated. I'm not a manipulator, so I didn't try to get over or manipulate because his end result was like, just get whatever you want. No, that's not what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? I just want something equivalent to the amount that I was overcharged. And he's asking me how much, did was I needed to be refunded. And I had already told him a few times that basically it was supposed to be 4 for 5, but I got charged something different. If you just give me the equivalent. So that was that. But then what struck me in my vlog where I was thinking out loud, I was saying, I wonder did they even call him because I didn't hear him them page him on the intercom, right? But later on, as that man was working with me, I hear a page on the intercom for a customer, and that page is done by the white lady that was telling some other girl to page. So why didn't you just page when you were standing there? And as I watched him interact with that customer, somehow there was something where he was being overcharged $8, and they were like, just charge $7 less or whatever, and her drawer was going to be 7 less. See, that's the thing though about emotional intelligence. Like I said, those people last night, they dealt with it by, their social anxiety, emotional intelligence by joking about people, talking about people, and clowning. All of that's the same thing, but just reverse, flip sides of the same thing, right? So because they mismanaged that, I had to come back in the daytime. And then in the daytime, you know, it got taken care of. But again, if you had an unscrupulous person, it could really, not have been a good thing. And then looking at my emotional intelligence, and they didn't change the price, and the price is still the same. You just did nothing. um, Looking back on how I handled the whole situation, I think socially aware in the moment, there were things I didn't pick up in the moment that I looked at in hindsight that, hey, that woman did not page. Why didn't she page? That was the question. But then after a while, you don't have time for all the questions, and you see that that person's already really nervous, and your presence or you standing there asking those questions is not going to help the situation. It's going to make them even more. So people have flaws too, and we have to be understanding of each other's flaws. Um, so yeah, and I just wanted to add that when I go through, I'm going to label all of the Piggly Wiggly ones and put them in a separate folder playlist, just so I can have access to all of them because that's a place that I interact at. I went to Mr. B's again today. They didn't have. I spoke about that too. They didn't have what I really wanted, but as I was coming out, I don't know if I was vlogging or not, but the guy asked me how I was doing, and it may be because he was on the Black app. And maybe he's a person that, said, well, hey, if you want to talk to me right here. I don't know, but I told him, I'm doing good. I'm doing good because you spoke to me and you asked me how I was doing. And he sounded like he was sincere and genuine in his inquiry. And I appreciated that. And that's all it takes to make somebody do good is to acknowledge their presence and be sincere and genuinely, inquiring. And I appreciated that. Now, do I know if it was really sincere and genuine? No, I don't. But I felt that it was. And it served the purpose that it needed to serve for me.